Aquatic ecosystems are home to many different kinds of marine animals, but also home to a lot of the food we eat. From the smallest of shrimp to the largest of blue marlin, our oceans and rivers and ponds and lakes provide many benefits for not only the fish, but for us. But what would happen if there was no food left in the ocean for us to catch and eat? Let's break it down. The world produces about 200 million tons of fish and seafood every year, a portion of which is wild caught. Sometimes the demand for fish can get so high that we have to catch more fish than usual. This can lead to something called overfishing.
So, what is overfishing specifically? Well, based on the word, it's pretty self-explanatory, but let's get into the crux of it.
While catching fish is not inherently bad for the ocean, boats that catch fish faster than stocks can replenish can lead to overfishing. Overfishing is closely tied to bycatch, which is the capture of unwanted sea life while fishing for a different species. This, too, is a serious marine threat that causes the needless loss of billions of fish, along with hundreds of thousands of sea turtles and cetaceans. If you're thinking about the entire world having to worry about this at the same time, it can take a major toll on the environment. Because the thing is, the ocean is not privately owned. It's a public environment with common resources. If fisheries and vessels are all trying to fish at the same time, contributing to bycatch and therefore contributing to overfishing, this can result in the tragedy of the commons. Because overfishing is such a tragedy to the commons, it affects the globe socially, economically, and environmentally. It can result in a food crisis and loss of employment for the people who work directly and indirectly in the fishing industry. It decreases biodiversity. It changes the stock demand for seafood. It devastates fish populations and wildlife, breaks down the food web and degrades habitats, and it reduces the ocean's ability to perform its provisioning, supporting, and regulating services. Eventually, all this will add up and become too much to stay sustainable. And at this point, you're probably thinking,
Well, that sucks. There's no other way we can get our seafood now.
and oh, and to that I say wrong. Because there's this really great solution that not only provides a way to shop for sustainable fish, but also provides a solution to the fishing industry. And that, my dear viewers, is aquaculture! Aquaculture is breeding, raising, and harvesting fish, shellfish, and aquatic plants. Basically, it's farming underwater. U.S. aquaculture is an environmentally responsible source of food and commercial products, and it helps create healthier habitats and is used to rebuild stocks of threatened or endangered species. Aquaculture is the big fish when it comes to restoring biodiversity in our aquatic ecosystems. Meaning that it's a very important aspect. Its relationship with the tragedy of the commons means that it's able to reduce it because we're keeping fish in such a close environment. It's like growing your own strawberries instead of taking them from a wild-grown field. A healthy, competitive, and sustainable aquaculture sector can produce an abundant, safe, and affordable supply of seafood products.
Yeah.
Not only that, but aquaculture also only requires small amounts of water, space, and fuel, and it doesn't take up any land space compared to beef, pork, and chicken. However, there are a few drawbacks when it comes to aquaculture. Just like animals on land, a high density of fish can lead to a high density of their waste concentration. This can lead to diseases like E. coli being transmitted to wild populations. This could also lead to a giant result of eutrophication. Another drawback is that the fish or the marine species in the aquaculture may not be native or be genetically modified. This means that if the species were to escape from its enclosure, it could breed with a wild population or become an invasive species. While there are unintended consequences of fish farms and aquaculture altogether, it's a great solution to keeping our oceans biodiverse and healthy, because a healthy ocean equals a healthy earth, which equals a healthy us. Next time you shop for fish and meat, just remember to look for sustainable alternatives that are intended to protect our ecosystems. Thanks for watching. Okay, no more.